you know, and veteran guys, you can't show panic. You know, you got to understand that, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Still got an opportunity. All it takes is one game at a time, and we still have an opportunity. Got a couple days before we play again, kind of just regroup mentally, emotionally, physically, and just look forward to the challenge.
Hey, DeMar, did you expect the Bucks to respond here as forcefully as they did after the way they played in games 1 and 2 in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I mean, those guys been through it. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta give them credit. You know, they've been through it. You know, they won series. They won a series without Giannis before. They won a series with players down. You know, they're a championship team for a reason, and that's how you respond, whether it's on the road, at home. You know, and we've gotten a taste of what it's like when a great team like that respond. You know, and it's on us to regroup. You know, finally have a couple days in between games, really dissect this whole thing and figure out how we could keep it going.
DeMar, you guys are giving up so much size defensively with them starting Portis up front now. A lot of times they're going to post-ups and then Giannis is passing out to open shooters. What can you guys do defensively to try to combat that in the next game?
I mean, next couple of days, just looking at film, understanding what we could do differently, get them a different look, kind of throw them off rhythm, what they're trying to do, understand more what they're trying to do, you know, and just try to knock that rhythm off of them. So, like I said, we got a couple of days to figure it out, and we go from there.
Yeah. But DeMar, I guess on the other side of that, having Portis in it, they spoke a lot about trying to get you out of rhythm and to keep you from getting your spots. How did you see the court, I guess, in that way with those three bigs and the way they tried to, you know, keep you from getting to the line and getting going?
Yeah, they definitely packed the paint. You know, showing length, trying to take a lot of, you know, my space away. They locked in defensively. All five guys, whenever we do something, not just myself, Zach as well, just trying to make it tougher on us, take away our easy shots where we like to get to our spot. So the length, you definitely see it there, but, you know, we just got to keep being aggressive.
I want to follow up just on that. Obviously, you were on the game plan to start, but especially these last two games, every time you came over a screen, there was more bodies there. Have you faced a defense like this before, focused on you?
Yeah, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's nothing new at all. You know, when it comes down to that, you know, it's just not on me just trying to make a play. That's when, you know, we just got to be focused and locked in offensively on how we could take advantage of that. You know, when they load in on me, try to get easier shots, easier layups on the secondary back end of our offense. You know, so for me, it's nothing new for me.
Thanks, DeMar.
You know, so I just, you know, the ball in his hands is a good thing for us.
6 threes, another playoff career high in back-to-back games. What can you say about the way he's stepped up here into this role?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously much needed. The time was right, and he's been really good. And I think, you know, it's just he's embracing the moment, embracing the opportunity. I think the guys are doing a good job, you know, screening for him, things like that. And, you know, it's just it's great to have him and that ability to, you know, make threes and a little bit off the bounce stuff. So he's been really good.
Mike, can you just sense that he's kind of thriving in this moment with the big spotlight, the fans booing him every time he touches the ball, you know, and Middleton being out, you know, coming up big? Yeah,
no, I mean, you know, I think he's played well here in Chicago. So I think, you know, some of it's his best basketball, and I think it's just the competitor in him, the fight in him, and it's always there, but, you know, maybe it's a little heightened, you know, when we're here. So, and I think, you know, like I said, teammates are doing a good job with him, and he's being aggressive. I think his defense too, you know, his deflections, his, you know, hands, activity. He's just doing it everywhere. You know, it's what it takes this time of year.
Two questions on Grayson as well. The other night you said he's good off the bounce. Is that because he gets so low, to the ground, that it's hard to defend him, and he's creative around the basket? And then secondly, what's it like to have your own teammates boo him to kind of get him motivated? Do you chuckle at that, or?
I didn't know. Are they doing that? It's whatever. It's working, so they tend to do whatever they want anyways down there. So, but I think for him, he's just, I think he's got both good feet and good hands. He's got, so he's athletic, but he's shifty and he's unbalanced, and his footwork is good. And I think his hands are, it's when you're around him a lot, you watch him, his finishing, his ability to put it on the glass with some spin and things like that. He's just got he's got a lot to work with. And he's working on his game, the player development, the time he puts in, the assistant coaches put in with him. I think, bearing some fruit right now.
You were most impressed with his defense, and I read a stat line out to him after the game, and he said he was most impressed with the 3 steals, and he felt like when he gets going defensively, it actually helps his offense. How much do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that with almost all our players. Like, it's something that we believe in fundamentally. If you just really put your mind on being great defensively and you put your mind on competing on that end of the court, and then just things can happen naturally on the other end. Just let it happen. Don't worry and think so much about offense. It's, basketball players at every age. It's not easy, and but we certainly talk about it a lot and believe in it a lot. And so, it's good to hear him, I think echo the same thing. 3 steals, the activity, then it just, I think it bleeds over into his offense or our offense.
You were talking about defense earlier, able to hold DeRozan again to a quieter night. What have you guys been doing to kind of frustrate one of the better scorers in the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's, probably a little bit of luck. We just got to keep finding him. I think we got to try and take away some of his airspace, just take away his comfort, take away his rhythm. It's really hard to do. We got to keep him off the free throw line. There's just so many things you have to do against DeRozan. He's a great player, so we have a big challenge to do it again on Wednesday night. 23 is still a lot.
Grayson's one of the few guys you guys have new on this roster that hadn't been here before or anything from last year. Just why do you think he's fit in with this group so well and mess with these guys so well?
Yeah, he's kind of quiet but confident, and I think this is a confident group, a group that, sees a player that can help them and appreciates his competitiveness. And he's just kind of, like I said, quiet, no bullshit, and just, comes to play. And I think our guys kind of gravitate towards that type of mentality, and it's certainly been a good fit.
Coach, we talked about turnovers after the first couple games. The offense seemed sharper. These 2 games here in the United Center, is it just a matter of the team finding the rhythm a little bit, or what do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is, some rhythm that comes with playing some games after, a break. But I think our defense, has been good, and that just feels like a kind of a tired message. But when we're good defensively, then it flows into our offense, and we're better. The ball move, I think the ball movement and the penetrating kick, has been something that's been a real positive, and we got to continue to do.
And Coach, what do you think about just the opportunity to close out the series at home Wednesday?
Yeah, no, you just got to go play. We got to play on Wednesday. Expect to have to play our best and give our best effort, and competitive spirit's got to be there in a big way on Wednesday. All right, thank you.
Billy Donovan available now. Remember, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan walked off the floor with 12 seconds left in the game.
Protocol, is there any concern? Knowing the protocol, it seems like the spacing would be okay, but is there any concern he could miss game 5?
Yeah, I mean, I just know that I think they're still trying to figure out if he actually has a concussion, but I think there was enough there that they had some concerns that it was to the level. I'm not really sure. He'll go obviously through all the normal protocols and questionings and think they normally go through, but it wasn't really necessarily a flagrant play at all. He just kind of got his nose, it looked like, because that's what he was holding. But I'm sure he got his head jarred back. He was just, got caught up in the screen there, going for the ball. And, he got hit pretty good. It was like right in front of our bench. But I think he was trying to come back in. But I think once he started bleeding, they wanted to bring him back to get the bleeding to stop. And then I think once they started looking into him, I think there was enough of a concern that maybe he has a concussion, but yeah, and that's why there was stoppage play. There was blood on the floor and stuff like that. But it wasn't. It was. I thought actually it was his eye he was holding, but it wasn't. It was his nose.
What did you think about the physicality and all those things you talked about coming out of Game 3?
Listen, I thought we were better. You know, in a lot of ways, I thought we competed. You know, obviously Giannis, demands a lot of attention, and he obviously, when he gets in that lane, he's really, really a handful. And with our size, we got to get in there and we got to, provide help. And they shot the ball well. I mean, that was the difference in the game, in my opinion. I think if you look at their shooting from the three-point line compared to ours, that was a difference. I thought we had some pretty good looks. I thought DeMar and Zach really, tried to play the right way in terms of generating some downhill penetration and kickouts, and kind of same thing that they did. I think they're